Childhood apraxia of speech can seem like a big, scary term, but it really just means that your child's brain and their mouth are having some trouble working together to make speech sounds. And maybe you as a parent have been doing so much research online and reading so many articles that you're just feeling overwhelmed. Well, I'm a speech therapist and I want to share some good news with you to try to take a little bit of a load off, to let you know that with support, children can make amazing progress with their speech. So for those that don't know, childhood apraxia of speech is a motor speech disorder. This means that your child knows what they want to say, but the message between their brain and their mouth just doesn't always get through very clearly. And it is not that your child doesn't understand or that they're not trying. It's really just that the structures of their mouth are not moving at the right time and the right way to produce speech sounds for talking. Of course, as you can imagine, this can be really hard and frustrating for children, but with time and the right speech therapy, they can make big improvements over time. So if your child's speech therapist has mentioned childhood apraxia of speech, I want you to know that you're not alone, and this video is for parents of young children or toddlers who want to be able to recognize early signs of childhood apraxia of speech, or even for parents of older children who want to be able to look back and think about if maybe they're able to recognize some signs from when their child was much younger. Now, some professionals feel like it can be difficult to give an official diagnosis of childhood apraxia of speech to younger children because we just don't have enough of a speech sample because they're simply not saying enough yet. And that is why we sometimes use the term suspected childhood apraxia of speech. But the good news is that research that was published in 2019 gave us 7 key characteristics of suspected childhood apraxia of speech to look for in children under the age of 2. This is a newer development and means that we may be able to provide support to children earlier than ever before. And since especially children with childhood apraxia of speech develop their speech at a slower pace, this means that early intervention can make even more of a huge difference for them. As you listen to these signs that I'm going to explain to you, trust your parent intuition, but also make sure that you are well connected with a speech therapist if you have concerns. Here are some early signs that we look for. During the first 2 years, you may notice very limited babbling or vocalizations. Vocalizations are going to be the sounds that children make when they just open their mouth and turn on their voice, like ooh and ah. This is also called cooing in babies, and it's really just when they use vowels and vocalize using their voice. Babbling, on the other hand, is going to be when they make sounds using actual consonant sounds like ba and da. And overall, in a child with suspected childhood apraxia of speech, you may notice that both of these things are just limited. More specifically, between 7 and 12 months, you may notice limited canonical babbling. So this is going to be babbling that is not just one sound, but instead it's going to be repetitions of syllables like ba 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 or da da da. So using these speech sounds, but repeating them over and over when they babble. You may not notice this in a child with suspected childhood apraxia of speech between 7 and 12 months. By 12 months, you may notice that they haven't said any consonant sounds at all. So you may notice that they have started vocalizing, they're turning on their voice to make some sounds, but you just haven't heard any specific consonants or speech sounds like ba, da, or even putting their lips together to make the sound for the letter M. Doesn't have to just be these sounds, it could be any sound that you have not heard them say. And similarly, by 16 months, you have not heard them say at least 3 consonant sounds. So you just notice that their communication development or their development of speech sounds is not coming along in the way that you would expect. And then moving along to 24 months, you may notice that they have not developed at least 5 consonant sounds, and they're especially not using the backed consonant sounds, which are the sounds like K and G, which we make in the back of our mouth. So then another early sign that you may notice is that at that 2-year mark, or throughout their first 2 years, you notice that they are relying on a few specific speech sounds rather than trying more and new sounds. So they may rely on the sounds for P, B, T, and D, M, and N. So P, B, T, D, M, and N. And that they're not seeming to try other sounds like the sound for the letter S, or those back sounds like K and G like we mentioned previously. Also, between 13 and 18 months, If your child is vocalizing and using vowels, but they're not saying speech sounds yet, you may notice that they are starting to use these vowels in their word attempts. So they might just say the vowel portion of the word, like O for open or for up. So they're trying words, but they're just using their form of the word and what they can say to produce the word. Something that parents will sometimes share is that it seems like there is a large and growing gap between what their child understands and what they actually say. And this is because there is no difficulty with the child being able to understand words and speech. It's just that their mouth is not able to make the sounds to say the words in the way that we would expect it to. So there just seems to be a wide gap between what the child understands or their receptive language and what they're actually saying themselves. If your child is not babbling a lot yet and you're just not sure what's going on, I have an entire video on how to help your child babble even more that I would highly recommend you check out. So I'll link it down in the description below. Something else that parents frequently share is that their child seems to use a lot of gestures and signs and actions to communicate, just using other forms of communication other than using their mouth. Something that is sometimes seen but not always in children with childhood apraxia of speech is groping. So this is when it seems like the child is trying to open their mouth and move it to make a sound or a word, but it's just that there's no speech coming out. And so this is what we call groping. So the reason why younger children do not always get an official diagnosis of childhood apraxia of speech is because older children are able to attempt and participate in more complex imitation tasks, which of course gives us more clear information about their speech. For example, a therapist might have the child repeat different words and phrases with varying syllable patterns. And this helps us understand if the speech patterns or breakdowns match what we expect for childhood apraxia of speech. So of course, in order to do this, a child needs to be able to imitate words from a speech therapist. However, with that being said, it is very important and even crucial to look for these signs early in a child with childhood apraxia of speech, because if you identify it early, then you can change the approach that you're using with a very young child to help them develop these speech sounds in the first place. If you have questions at all, please feel free to leave a comment down below or reach out to me. And so that you know exactly what to expect of your child's speech development from when they're born all the way to when they're entering kindergarten, I have a free roadmap of communication that you can get for free when you click the link down in the description below. If this video helped you, I hope that you will like, subscribe, maybe even leave me a comment down below or share with someone that it might help, because that helps me make more videos just like this to help families just like yours.